Hello and welcome to Tim's Antique Trains. Today's video is a bit different. I'm up at my uncle's house where we look at his small but very busy layout and show off some of his trains and learn about the stories and some real life history behind them. We are here already, so let's go. So tell me about this train. Tell me about this little engine here.
Well, my wife got it at a garage sale probably 30 years ago. That's what started out my collection of model trains. So she brought that home and a little bit of track and a couple cars and a cheap transformer. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. So I kept buying more stuff and expanding the board. That was at our own house where I had a much larger layout. Here I was restricted, but I got as much crammed into this little space as what I could possibly do.
You've got quite the operation here.
It's pretty congested.
It's a small little circle, but you got a lot of tracks going.
Tracks, and I really like this switching panel here with two transformers and then the switching panel. I can have trains running different directions and stopping at various, I can isolate various sections of track. Works out pretty slick. All my switches or my turnouts are manual, though I didn't wire those up.
I could see that because you have it's all within arm's reach.
Yeah, everything's real easy to reach here.
So we've got the freight train going. We've got the little bitty steam engine. Tell me about this big engine here. What's the story about this?
Well, that one is like so many steam locomotives today. It's for display only. It went up in smoke some years ago, but it sure looks good just standing there. It wasn't the real expensive one. I think it was, what, $50 or so at the time. But for just static display, it's great.
Sure looks nice. It's kind of glamorous, although it's the Santa Fe.
Yeah. And over here, the little switch engine, Wisconsin Central, number 1237. That was custom painted. So getting back to the number 1237, I used to volunteer at the Railroad Museum to run the trains there. And one time their own locomotives broke down and they needed to borrow one from the Wisconsin Central to operate the haunted Terror on the Fox train ride.
Oh, yes.
And so they borrowed the number 1237 from the Wisconsin Central, so I got to operate the actual locomotive.
Oh, wow.
And I understand that shortly after that they scrapped it. But I thought, well, I'll pay the premium price for a little A-third switch engine painted up like that because I actually ran the real one.
So we got the engine right here next to it too. This one's also a Chicago Northwestern one here.
Yeah, that's I forget the name brand of that one. Just look underneath, see what it says. Lifelike. It's a Lifelike. It's geared. Wow. It's got the 3-axle trucks.
Okay.
Runs. It's geared a little bit different than the A-thirds. So it goes a little slower, but it has plenty of power. Runs nice and smooth and quiet.
Maybe in a little bit we can put that on a train and see it go.
We can make that work. Then over here, the 2901 is a E2, Chicago Northwestern E2.
Get a good shot of this one here.
But that one's very special to me because my dad fired the 2901 out of Antigo in the early 50s. He started on the railroad in 1950 and left Antigo in 1955, I believe, transferred to Green Bay. But he spent time firing several of the 2900 series passenger locomotives. And 2901, he fired that one. So I thought, well, I better own that one. That's pretty special. And it runs good, smokes good.
That's a good quality locomotive there. Maybe we can see that running a little bit too.
We'll make that one run, you bet.
So there's another Wisconsin Central engine back here.
That I bought at a train show some years back. Runs good, 3-axle trucks, pulls good. Another A-third. I like the simplicity and the reliability and the inexpensive part of the eighth-inch. Oh, major derailment here.
Those log cars on that look like they're scaled for an American flyer train, actually.
Must be big redwoods.
Another disaster here. They got to get the track crew out here and fix that.
Oh, those are the good couplers too.
Actually, I had the camera off, but if you wanted to explain that again, because your layout's so small.
Oh, yeah, I was saying that what makes my layout interesting is how, with all this complicated electrical wiring, I can reverse the direction and I can operate either transformer on any track. So to make it interesting, I got it so congested with trains that to get one train from the inside track to the outside track and make room on the outside track for the incoming train. That's what makes the whole thing interesting, rather than just watching the trains go around in circles. It's not a complicated layout otherwise, just round and round. But with so many switches available, and I can complete. I got locomotives that I can't run them all at the same time. So I got plenty of equipment, and a lot of track in a small area. So just to make it work, makes the whole thing interesting.
So where would we have seen a train like this in operation in real life?
Well, you have never seen a train like this with the dome car. Chicago Northwestern never had dome cars, so that's
a little unprototypical.
Yes, but otherwise the F units and the coaches, we would have seen those around the Green Bay area quite a bit. Although when I was little, it was all bi-levels. They didn't have too many single-level coaches around here.
Now, one thing this train is missing is the observation car.
Yeah. Put it on my Christmas list.
We'll see if I can ever get to a train show. I'll look for one. Although I'm looking for a set myself, so you never know.
Competition.
This train reminds me of something that would have been on the route of the 400.
Sure.
These particular style of cars, minus the domed ones.
Yeah.
I found they had something interesting about those cars. The original observation cars had a rounded shape to them, as opposed to the more common teardrop shape.
Really?
And I haven't been able to find any like that. The ones I have are all more of a teardrop shape.
Okay. smell of it smoke. Whoa!
That's a problem there. I don't think that's supposed to do that.
Numerous fatalities in that coach, I'm sure.
Oh man.
That'll make the newspapers.
So this, tell me about this thing here.
Oh, it's a coal tower. It's where the days of the steam, they pull underneath the coal tower with a tender and open the chute, and big cloud of dust, and the tender would be full of coal again, ready to go some more. So between the coal towers and the water towers, or water tanks, it kept the steam engines fed. Actually, backward. This is actually the front.
So for an engine like this, it's a switch engine, and so the cab is on one end. So what's the advantage of that?
Smaller. The regular switch engine that has the nose here, or any freight locomotive with a nose, actually that's where the toilet is. So
That's true.
They don't need a toilet in a switch engine. They're right in the yard anyway. But
so the other end's the front. And
this is the front.
back.
For safety reasons, they consider this the front in case you're going along and going to have a collision with a vehicle or something. This is the front. It's safer, but they run. You can sure see better going this way. And
Oh yeah, much better visibility.
the engineer always sits on the right. So a switch engine like this, the engineer would sit here, seeing that's the front. The engineer's on the right. But when they're going this way, the engineer is actually on the left then.
I think that's going kind of fast for a switch engine there.
Pretty fast, yeah. You better slow it down. I know one of the older switch engines at the Railroad Museum, there's a placard in it that says top speed of 65 miles an hour.
Well, that's it for the tour of my uncle's layout. Just because it's small doesn't make it boring. Stay tuned for a special bonus video clip of the last engine my grandpa ran at the National Railroad Museum when he was 88 years old.